Welcome to Mathas Bounty Hunter. As far as our opening hand goes, we don't have any ramp really, but we've got swords and heroes downfall. Yeah, I think we just keep on this one. I mean, because we do have a commander that cares about dying and going to the graveyard, and would you just have Path to Exile to stop 5 damage to each creature? Yeah, I think we can kind of make that. I mean, this is definitely a very slow hand, but we've got 4 lands. We've got a early kind of stacks effect, and double removal. So, hey, we will definitely take it. Okay, and let's go and lead off with, yeah, we do want this Authority of the Councils to come down. So let's go Plains, and then we'll have Authority come down. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to some Mathas Bounty Hunter. Hopefully you're excited to brand some creatures and generate some nice 2-for-1 card advantage with that brand, because that is the name of the game today. Here to have some fun. Let's have, I guess, Polluted Delta come down. We'll crack Polluted Delta, because at this point we just don't, and I guess technically we could be running into Blood Moon in a mono red deck. Do we want to dodge Blood Moon? And then we can grab, yeah, we might as well just be safe with that. So we'll grab a Swamp, because yeah, this is mono red, and a lot of people don't play Blood Moon in here, but I'd rather just make sure we have access to it. So at least to our colors, that way we can find ourselves out of this one, because if we do run into Blood Moon, it's not looking good. But if we can get down Bloodstained Mire and grab a mountain, then we don't have to worry about it anymore. So, I mean, there's just sometimes where mono red just plays Blood Moon, and especially against a 3-color deck, it's kind of like, yeah, well, good game. You got this one. I don't have any mana or anything. All right, so and then actually ripping into these fetch lands is, oh, it's so good. All right, so let's have Bloodstained Mire come down. Let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire. We're gonna grab ourselves a mountain. There we go. Let's go for Mathas. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty good. And just split this one down right down the middle. Look at these basics. It's very nice. Not very often that we could just show off all 3 basics. I do hand select basics for each deck, and so just like to kind of highlight those. Odyssey and I think it's Odyssey, and then Masquerades, and I can't remember what that one is. Anyway, beautiful old school lands on Magic Online. So we're running into more fetch lands too. Let's have Marsh Flats come down, and we're just 100% playing around Blood Moon now. All right, let's go and swing in for, yeah, might as well just go and swing in for 3. And Mathas is just sitting out there with his brand. He's like, hey, what am I doing? This thing's getting hot. And it's, well, just go poke our opponent's face with it. All right, so we're going to poke our opponent's face with that hot brand for 3. That puts him down to 3 commander damage. And then anything else pass turn to our opponent. We're playing against Ryusei. I think that's how you say it. If that's wrong, I do apologize, but that's how it's going to be for the rest of the video. So, flying, whenever Ryusei, the Falling Star dies, it deals 5 damage to each creature without flying. So let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to help Mathas in the, get that brand nice and hot, Vance's Blasting Cannon. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to help get that brand nice and hot to where we can get some bounty counters going, head over to MTGOTraders. We're always on the lookout for some support to join the Assassin's Guild to help Mathas. So if that sounds like something you want to do in your career path, hey, go for it. And also, I'll finish the rest of this stuff here in a second. Ooh, Bedevil. That's good. Okay, and I think we've grabbed all of our basics now at this point right now. So let's have Flooded Strand come down. Now, if you came here for some Mathas combat damage, some Mathas Voltron without the Voltron pieces, hey, this is the game for you. Swinging in for 3, it's going to put them down to 24 and 6 total commander damage, and then I pass it back over to our opponent. So. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. Use coupon code JOLT, or if that doesn't work, go to their website, click on the link down in the description below, or go to the website, inkgaming.com/JOLT. If you haven't treated yourself in a long time, make sure that you do. You can get yourself something nice over there if that floats your boat. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to get your name at the beginning of the, or the ending of my credits, make sure that you're a patron of my Patreon. And also, if you want to get your hands on some sweet tokens, make sure that you're a patron. If you're a patron of my Patreon, you'll be automatically entered into my monthly giveaway of tokens. So, and they change every month. So, if it's a deal to where you wanted to be a patron for 1 month and you don't like the next month, hey, that's totally fine. You do you. So, there's nothing wrong with entering the giveaway that way. So, All right, so sad robots on the battlefield. Let's go on crack-footed strain, and hopefully we can just rip into some sort. I mean, we've got tons of really good universal removal. We've got Bedevil, Hero's Downfall, Path to Exile. That's one of the absolute nice things about playing Mardu. Let's have Godless Shrine. That'd be good. Have Godless Shrine come down. Not going to pay 2 life, and then we'll kick it back over to our turn. See what we. Okay, Cliffs. Okay, since there's nothing else that we need to do, and that's, yeah, we have double. We'll just get Cliffs to come down. Let's go and swing in for Mathas. This is our opponent's face. I just, when you actually imagine like Magic, like 2 Planeswalkers dueling it out, whatever sort of battlegrounds that is. I just love Mathas. There's sad robot who entered the battlefield and fell down. And he hasn't gotten up yet. And then there's Mathas that keeps running over to this great multiverse planeswalker of Vitet and poking him in the face with that poker. So anything else will pass the turn over to our opponent. And there we go. We finally get a counter on something. And so we'll probably end up cashing that in. Now, we might go for Path to Exile on Sad Robot. I'd really like to save it for Ryusei, simply just to make sure we dodge that exile effect. I think that would be pretty good. So, all right, it's going to enter the battlefield. We're going to gain a life. If they do end up swinging in, I think we'll still end up going Hero's Downfall, because at this point right now, we just want to... It does give our opponent some card advantage, but yeah, I like doing this because we need to get something moved out of our hand. All right, so we're going to be able to cash in a card draw. It's going to send old Sad Robot down. And our opponent probably knows that we've got a pretty good mix of removal in our hand if we're just going for a Hero's Downfall on Sad Robot. Because it kind of doesn't necessarily look like a desperate play. But, ooh, okay, with Kaya. So exile Kaya, and up to 1 target creature that... return that card to battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. Dragon Master Outcast. Okay. Yeah, so with Kaya, so we're going to gain some life. With Kaya, I think we can actually just kind of keep Ryusei under control. I think that actually sounds pretty good. Ooh, and actually, if we go Baneslayer Angel, that'll stop all that damage over there. But I think still going for Kaya is a pretty good bet. So let's have Kaya come down. I'm actually really excited about Kaya. Kaya's a very good Planeswalker in Commander. So have that come down. Let's go for the 0 ability. Let's make sure our opponent's got Exile. Yeah, I think we're fine with that because it's going to enter the battlefield tap. So essentially, we're just going to basically keep our opponent's commander under control this entire time. So I kind of like that. So let's go and swing in with Mathas. We're going to be pushing in for 3. That's going to put them down to 18 and 12 total commander damage. And then anything else, we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn. So we're going to put a counter on the Dragon Master Outcast. And then... if you control, yeah, we need to go ahead and go for Bedevil on that Dragon Master Outcast. It's going to be double black and then red. Simply, we just don't want those dragons. So, all right, Intrepid Hero. Okay. All right, so that's going to exile the top card of their library. And then that's also going to allow us to, now that we've dealt with their commander, they might have sent it back to the command zone. The cool thing about Kaya in a deck like this, especially with Authority, is that it's just going to enter the battlefield tapped every single turn. Essentially, it's just we've taken their commander out of the game in a roundabout way, which is a pretty nice feeling. So let's see what else they're getting down, though. It's going to be Spit Flames. All right, so they're going to... they're going to see one of those dragons, Spit Flame Mathas over there. Let's get Mathas popped back up. Okay, so our opponent, we're going to be able to return our opponent's commander back to the battlefield. Enter battlefield tapped. We get the, whenever a dragon enters the battlefield. Oh, okay, yeah, they can actually pay that red mana with Gilded Lotus. That is something that I didn't think about. Whenever a dragon enters a battlefield, they can, basically, we're going to give our opponent a repeated removal source with that Spitfire. Let's get that closed out. Dragon Skull Summit. Okay, so we go Dragon Skull. And I still think this deals 5 damage to each creature. I still think we just keep that under control. Yeah, I kind of like doing that. So let's go Baneslayer Angel. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And let's go for the 0 ability. We could go for the -2 if we wanted to, but I think at this point, I just like kind of keeping a clear way yeah, definitely going to do that. We're going to exile that. We do have Path to Exile that we could potentially go for, but let's just get Intrepid Hero down. That way it just kind of makes it hard for our opponent to kind of get anything established on their side of the battlefield. So, sounds like a pretty good deal. But yeah, this is one of the fun things about playing Mathas is that when you play Mardu, you have access to so much removal. It's just so nice sometimes. You can pretty much deal with whatever your opponent's got out there. You've got Bedevil, you've got Mortify, you've got Vindicate, Anguish Unmaking, Utter End. There's just so many ways that you can really deal with. Opponent's going to go for Spitfire on Intrepid Hero. Yeah, I don't blame them. They're going to be getting a dragon back next turn, so why not? Ooh, Moonveil Dragon, okay. Now that we do have Path to Exile, we'll see how we want to use it. We could use it on Moonveil Dragon if we wanted to, because because it was Spit Flame, 4 damage target creature. The interesting thing is that eventually they could get into spots where they could deal with Baneslayer Angel, but at this point right now, we can get some good lifelink going. I feel pretty good about this, and that's going to be Vance's blasting cannons are going to flip 3 damage to any target. So between Spitfire and we're actually dueling Spitfires, I think, technically. They're definitely going to be able to deal with, unfortunately, deal with Baneslayer Angel, yeah. We do have protection from dragons, but that's not going to stop it at this point right now. So let's go and swing in for 5 for sure. We'll see what we draw into, but at this point, we're going to be getting in for some damage right now while we can. So let's go and push in for 5. There we go. That's going to knock them down to 13. And I think, yeah, we go Scalding Tarn. Let's have Mathas come down. And then tap down for 2 more. Actually, we'll do it this way. Let's go Soul Ring. That way we can completely tap down for that. Have Mathas come down. And then we're going to go for we can go for the -1 ability. That's going to make them lose 2 life and we gain 2 life. We're kind of far away from that, and there's a lot of flying creatures in the air. And so each creature you control gets +0/+0. What do we want to do in this scenario? We've got Path to Exile up. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. I guess we could go for the -2 just to try to draw into something. Because now that they've got double dragons down, and especially if they can completely tap out for a Moonveil, do we still want to keep Falling Star under check? Yeah, let's go for the -2. For some reason, I just, with them having Spitfire flipped and then having the other Spitfire in their hand, I don't feel like we can assemble a board state quick enough to stop that. Even if we just keep going for the Kaya activation, it's not that good. Now, if they want to, they can actually discard Spitfire. I think that's what that card is. Helm of the Ghostly Prison. Okay, so that is very interesting for this deck. So we can actually go Ghostly Prison. Yeah, that's a pretty good draw because that's going to force them to not have as many activations they can go for, and that still kind of keeps us a little bit open. So let's go. I guess we put a bounty counter on Runaway Steamkin. Runaway Stinky. And then we'll put a bounty counter on Runaway and then simply just pass the turn. So we'll see what we can do about this. But good match so far. Really enjoying this, and getting to see a pretty good little taste of what this Mathas deck is about. Some of the Mathas builds out there, they can be very heavy enchantment or curses and stuff like that. I just really enjoy using Mathas as, if you're building Mardu and you've got removal.deck, which just kind of basically is removal.deck. And there's nothing wrong with playing that because, you're playing Commander. How you win the game, it's totally up to you. And so, okay, so we're going to have Mathas. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not much. We are kind of at that spot now where we're in a weird position. So, yeah, they're going to 4 damage. And unfortunately, with them having dragons, we're getting hit by Spitfire and then double Spitfires is pretty rough. And so, but yeah, with Mathas, being able to get a 2-for-1. Oh yeah, they can actually just straight up just go for Kaya. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, with being able to turn your stuff into 2-for-1s off of universal removal, that is such a very strong effect in Mardu. Makes a huge difference. It's just simply being able to cash in card. Now we got Crucible of Fire. Dragon creatures you control get +3/+3, and that's going to be 8. That's going to be 16. We do have some life gain. But the good thing is that they did leave up Baneslayer Angel. They didn't get rid of Baneslayer Angel, so we might be able to do something with this. If they're just swinging in for 8, and they're going to pump it up, each creature you control gets +1/+1. That's going to be 9. I mean, we can take a hit from 9. We've got protection from demons and dragons, and we do have flying and first strike. So we're definitely going to be able to push past Ryusei. And so, yeah, I think we're okay. Let's go and crack Scalding Tarn. That way we're not drawing into one of these lands. And we'll have a Sacred Foundry come into play tapped. And let's see what we draw into for the turn. All right, go for the throw. That is a good option. In fact... yeah, let's go and go for it. I mean, go for the throat on Runaway Steamkin. Yeah, we can take another hit, and then this is going to be some card advantage. Now, we could wait for the counter with Mathas if we wanted to. Yeah, I think we should probably do that. So let's go and push in with Baneslayer Angel. That's going to be a 5/5. We can recast Mathas. But then that's just going to be another... well, at least we'll get the bounty counter on one of these creatures. All right, it's going to put our opponent down to 8. We go back up to 33. Let's get Mathas pop back out, because, yeah, I kind of want to get rid of Moonveil Dragon. I think that would be pretty good. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we still have go for the... yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to put an extra counter on Moonveil Dragon. And then let's go for... and just so there's no funny business, Lebowski, let's just go ahead and go for a go for the throat right now. That way we can cash in some card advantage. We're going to gain 2 life. Go to... ooh, and then we're drawn to Vindicate. Okay. All right, so now that kind of changes things a little bit. We do need to make sure that Ryusei doesn't die, because that's going to clear our entire board out. But at least next turn we can, you know, Vindicate on Spitfire Bastion to stop that extra damage being dealt to us. They're going to get extra counter on Runaway Steamkin. Flying in haste at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random, which if you're keeping score at home will definitely be us, because we're the only opponent. Attacks that player this if you don't choose an opponent, they tap it. Okay, so the good thing about Authority of the Council is that it's going to make that creature enter the battlefield tap, so that's going to be pretty good. Now let's see if they're going to end up going for this Spitfire line of play on Baneslayer Angel. We'll see what's going to happen. I mean, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to really kind of... okay, they're finally going to end up going for Baneslayer. That does make sense. So, all right, so they're going to go for that, and they're going to go for the Bastion activation. Okay, so let's gonna get rid of Bastion. Let's gonna get rid of a Baneslayer. Can you imagine Baneslayer just like trying to attack this dragon like fortress, and like a dragon just blast it, and she's still going strong, and then finally they've just got to shoot a cannonball at Baneslayer to get her to chill out, to leave the Bastion alone. So, all right, so we've got 8, potentially 12 on the ground. They do have to pay 2, so they can only swing in for 1 with Ghostly Prison. So we're going to see that 8 come across. And with Ryusei, 5 damage each creature without flying. Yeah, that would get rid of Runaway Steamkin. If we wanted to do that, but yeah, we'll kind of see what's happening. So, all right. And then, now we do have Vindicate on Runaway Steamkin. That does allow us to cash in a card draw immediately, which we might end up doing that. Let's see what we draw into first, though. All right, Isolated Chapel. So, not exactly what we're wanting to see. So let's just kind of go fishing. We're going to see what is in store for us. We're going to go Vindicate on Runaway Steamkin. Would like to use it for something else, but we just need to get some card advantage at this point right now. So it's going to be very important. So, Rugged Prairie. So that is not exactly what we're looking to see, but we can still get in for 3. All right, so let's go and push in for 3. There's Mathas just slinking across the battlefield. That's going to put them at 15 total commander damage. We're going to go and put a bounty counter onto a Territorial Hellkite, and then anything else, pass it back over there. So we still have Path to Exile to kind of slow roll a combat step, so we've got some time. It just kind of, we're in this weird pattern. If our opponent happens to leave the door cracked open, we might be able to get this win. So let's see what they end up doing. Ooh, the Immortal Sun. Okay. We don't have any Planeswalkers out here. We do have some Planeswalkers in the deck, but not too many. And the only downside is that's going to be a little bit of a tribal effect for our opponent, which is going to be something that we need to watch out for. All right, so this is 19 coming down. If we want to buy an extra turn, let's see what they're tapping out for first. Oh, yeah, they're going to be paying for Ghostly Prison. Yeah, I think we just path on the 10. I think that's fine. I think that's a good option. It is a bounty counter. Unfortunately, it has to die for us to get that bounty counter. But if we turn this game into where it's just a 9, that kind of gives us a 3-turn clock with Ryusei. So that buys us a little bit extra time, because if we take 19, it's basically we're dead next turn. So, all right, and actually our opponent sacrificed it to gain some life. Well, we drew into Graven, so that puts him back up to 14. So that's going to be 9 coming down. Puts us at 20. Oh, and also we do need to watch out for commander damage. We're almost dead on commander damage on the back end. And we've run into Battlefield Forge. Bummer, man. Okay, so let's go and push in for 3. Gonna swing in. They're gonna be able to get it next turn. Good game to our opponent. That's gonna be 18. Puts them down to 1. We'll make the land drop for the turn, and we'll just go ahead and tap down all of our mana really quick. Yeah, because what's gonna end up? We could try to leave up mana, but they've got commander damage in the air, and there's no way we can tap them down. We've got 2 lands. We're gonna click OK. So good game to our opponent. We're able to get a Mathas counter or bounty counter onto Ryusei, but they're going to get it on this one. So, but yeah, this is pretty much what we come to play this deck for. It's just kind of have some fun and get some good stuff going. And I feel like it was a pretty even little match. The only, we did have a little bit of a slow start, having 4 lands and just a couple of universal removal spells. The thing that really hurt us is that we just never ripped into any of our draw magic. Cashing in some card draw. We got some good stuff in here, but unfortunately we didn't hit that, and a little bit of flooding out kind of led us to that. So, all right, there we go. Opponent's going to be able to get Spit Flame back. And with Spit Flame, is that something that you can, to target creature? Okay, so going to be able to deal with Mathas and get that closed out. So, all right, they're going to, just as a final goodbye, Mathas is out on the field. They're going to go for that Spitfire Bastion on Mathas. So there we go, swinging for 9. That's going to put us at 26 total commander damage, and that will be good game. So unfortunately, we weren't able to close this one out, but we got some good counters going. It just always feels good to be able to turn your removal spells into 2-for-1s with some card advantage and some life, technically 3-for-1s. It is a very good feeling. So for the people keeping score at home, you can see how close we got to Mathas getting combat commander damage, just straight up just running across with this brand. So I guess I should consider this game a win, considering that we got 18 branding damage in commander with Mathas's brand. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.